audience out. And the short of it for me, and whenever people email me and say, how do I get a bigger audience, how do I go viral, how do I get my movie seen, I always somewhat dismissively say, make really good work. Because that's all I do. That's my only focus. I think when it comes to the internet, when it comes to YouTube specifically, there's an internal way of thinking and there's an external way of thinking. And I think a lot of people do both really successfully. And what I mean by that is the internal way of thinking, which is the only way I do it, is I keep my head down and all I care about is making great movies. If it takes me 6 weeks to produce my next YouTube movie, that's how long it takes. If I can get it out that day, that's also great. All I care about is if it's good. That's my priority. And the reason why I call that, why I consider that an internal way of thinking is because some movies I've made that I think are fantastic, nobody watches. In other movies, like this next movie I'm going to show you, which I think is kind of stupid, I put out and they go crazy. So, you know, I don't really know. All I know is like make what I think is the best and then let it live on YouTube and let the people decide. That external way of thinking, which is something that I think is the majority of really successful YouTubers capitalize on, is they create with a great deal of consideration for their audience, a great deal of consideration regarding timing. I'm going to release a movie every Tuesday and Thursday. Communication, like how they're going to get it out there, catering to their audience, considering feedback from their audience, all of those things to create something that is like a unique dialogue between them and their YouTube audience, which I think is valid. I just don't do any of that. I don't even really, as much as I love YouTube and I love the title YouTube filmmaker, I use YouTube as a distribution platform only. It's my favorite distribution platform. I love it. I don't know what I'd do without it. I don't know if I'd have a career without it. But my movies play in film festivals, they play in movie theaters, they play on television, and I think they work everywhere. And you know, some time from now when YouTube either doesn't exist or looks nothing like it does today, I like to think the integrity of my movies will still stand. Versus more typical YouTube vloggers that their work is so specific to their audience right now that I think in time it may fade. That said, let me show you, this movie was the first movie I made that eclipsed the iPod movie in viewership. And this movie was definitely a movie I made in a day. It's a movie that I made because I was really pissed off. And it leverages YouTube, the internet, cameras. They give you a kind of power, and for me it's like sometimes I feel very small. In this movie in particular, it's about me versus the New York City Police Department, which is very big. Something that I feel powerless against in this particular video, like I feel like I was being picked on by the NYPD, and at that moment there was nothing I could do but film it. But in filming it and in making a movie about it, it made me very powerful. It gave me a very large voice. And I'll get into that a little bit after we watch.